Hello Internet, I'm HamsterBomb and you guys are back for another figure review video. This is actually a model kit for, get this, there's a Xenoblade model kit. As soon as I saw that, I was like, I gotta get this. I had to pre-order this, which is actually a reprint of what is called the 1/48 scale full action plastic model kit of Formula Light Frame Base Doll. Doll? I'm just now seeing that. You're like, oh, it's so cute, I want to hug it. No, this is from Xenoblade Chronicles X. So this was the Wii U game that was the one game that I was saying for years was the only missing game that the Nintendo Switch couldn't play. And finally, the wonderful people at Monolith brought it to the Nintendo Switch. I had that pre-ordered and this at the same time, not even knowing what the game was like. And admittedly, I'm not far enough in the game to have even gotten to play on one of these guys, which I think in the game they call them Skells. So I'm going to refer to it as a Skell. I guess Formula is what they call it in Japan. I have no idea. I'm not far enough in the game. All I know is Cool Robot and Xenoblade. That's all I needed to know. So anyway, let's take a look at this thing because I have it finally put together. Well, technically, I do like to do the inside stuff, the box. We have the instruction manual, and I don't even know what the heck this is. It says for Japan use only, so whatever, this technically came in the box. The assembly instructions are exactly what you expect them to be, though there is some nifty color fixing and painting guides in the back, and it exactly shows you where the decals are going to go around it when it is finished. Those decals being right here. I have not put those on here because I do intend to paint it. There are a few extra pieces that were not put on the model. We have a couple extra hands here. One of them is just an open hand where it is not holding that sword that you see in the background, and a fist for the other hand, so I guess it could hold the sword if it was a lefty? I don't know. Do robots have handedness? I know you pilot them like Gundams, but whatever. Those are the hands. We have a couple extra pieces. I will probably need these to transform it into its motorcycle-looking form, which probably has a name, and I'm sorry, like I said, I'm not far enough in the game to get that. But anyway, these are those pieces. We'll probably see that today. I will do a transformation for you. Last but not least, I want to talk about this stand here because the company who makes these stands, Kotobukika, I believe is the company name who does this. They're the same people who did the Metal Gear models that I have covered already. Their stands are horrible. Oh, beyond horrible. So the stand that I have for Metal Gear Rex and Sahelanthropus basically is you just hoping that the model is going to balance on it. And there's pretty much there's a hole in the butt area, and you need to somehow stick this into it and hope that it can hold up the model, and it really looks like this when it's up. Yep, that's it. It's not long enough. You see the problem here? This is it with the stand on, okay? Like, I can try and put the stand under it, but it's just not gonna happen. Luckily, the feet on this are really flat, but this may be the most worthless stand I have ever seen in a model kit or a figure. So this is a piece of garbage. I don't know why they did this to you. Unfortunately, it can't really do any cool poses like you can see it on the box, which I should try to show you real quick. This is a really cool looking large Xenoblade box. I really like the art that they have painted on this. It's really cool, but yeah, good luck doing that pose because you can't actually get the figure to stand up with that horrible stand they gave you. I'm holding it upside down, but just so that we can get a little bit closer, this foil is a sticker, by the way. Make sure yours is real. Here's the side of it right now. You can see some instructions in Japanese and English saying a little bit of information about this and the decals, just showing you that they do exist. This is the top. I'm barely having space to do this. There's not enough room. And the bottom looks the same. And here we go on the other side, showcasing its other form and lots of legal stuff. All right, cool. So first things first, how was the build itself? I need to tell you I had to contact the company about building this model, and I've never had a problem with any model I've ever made before. I've actually had to contact the company about it. But there is a huge problem in the instructions, and it might be solved in Japanese. I don't know. But at least if you were in anywhere where you're reading this in English, there is a point in the instructions where you're trying to put these pieces on, okay? They are colored with orange, and they are not labeled anywhere in the instructions to tell you that this is like B16 or something like that. I don't remember the exact number, but basically the instructions that are going to call for these pieces, which are individually wrapped and not on the sheet, of plastic pieces that actually says B. And they are numbered. They are missing from that, and they have nothing to do with that. For some reason, they thought it was okay to release this in the West and not write that in English. So this is a crucial problem with this, that you will not be able to build it unless you know it's referring to these individually wrapped pieces with the orange on them when you're trying to build this part. You don't even know you're building the chest at the time, unless you built a lot of models before, like I did, and you just kind of know that you start with the chest most of the time. But still, anyway, this guy is covered in all sorts of unnecessary armor and equipment and guns and stuff like that. I'm sure it's going to matter for its transformation, and that's why it looks so, I don't know, silly. But a lot of the mechs in Xenoblade look really cool. This one is kind of strange looking. I remember watching the trailers when the Wii U game was coming out, and I thought this was such a cool idea, getting to run around in these giant mechs, but yeah, actually building him and really getting to know the ins and outs of this guy, he's built really weird. So there's a giant cannon on the top, there are swords and guns absolutely everywhere on him. Everything that you can imagine is going to move the way that you would expect. The shoulders are a little weird, as you can kind of see here. That's probably the only notable thing. It's, I guess we could call it double jointed, but that's not really how it works. Everything else is very simple. You just kind of adjusts, you know, as you would expect. The hands are very simple. They just kind of click into place. I don't even think I can move the hands. No. So the hands, once the hands are in, the hands are in. I thought you could twist them. Yes, you can. They're just in there kind of tight. So you can twist the hands. There's also a little bit of movement in the head as well. We also have the kind of semi-double jointedness going on with the hips, which is good for all those poses that you're not going to be able to do because the stand is garbage. And then we come down to the knees, which move just like you expected with the elbows. And then the foot, which better stay flat because he'll never be able to stand up ever again, especially when he's carrying all that backpack weight. All right, so he looks good. Got a giant clear piece for the sword here, which is nice to see. But what I want to know is, how does it transform? How does it look in that form at all? And I will do that for you today. Let's take a quick look. And I made it. Oh my gosh, that was such a long time jump for me, and fortunately just a snap for you. I have this falling apart on me, but that's okay. These stupid instructions we will talk about in just a moment, because getting to this point, wow, is a pain. Honestly, I gotta say, I think it looks a little bit cooler in the bike form. It looked a little extra before with all the weird parts and stuff that were on top of it, so I kind of like this look better. I might eventually end up painting this. It depends on how much I enjoy the rest of Xenoblade Chronicles X. I've kind of fallen off of it and kept going back to it, hoping that I'm going to enjoy it more and connect more with the game, because I love Xenoblade Chronicles 1 and 3 especially, are some of my favorite games I've ever played, and Chronicles X is okay. I appreciate that it's kind of doing a Xenogears thing, except we're playing from like a different point of view, so that's really interesting and cool, and I really like their mechs, so obviously I would like to play more of these. But if they ever made like a metal face or something from, you know, the other Xenoblade games, they made one from Xenoblade 2, but I'm not a huge Xenoblade 2 fan. But anyway, this looks pretty good. The transformation, however, was an absolute pain, and it is all because these instructions are horrible. And I have to point out that if you can't read Japanese, every single step of this transformation has Japanese instructions, and I have no idea what they said. I just kind of went for it based on the best I could guess of what it was trying to tell me. But even the regular, as you see this, regular put it together instructions of just assembling the model all had Japanese instructions in it. And I have no idea what it was trying to tell me. There's all sorts of things. Here's one about like why the stand is gonna go where it's supposed to go, and maybe like some key to how the stand is supposed to actually function and not be a total piece of crap. Nope, I don't know. This whole page, luckily, has almost no Japanese instructions. I have no idea what that says, or up here in the corner, but still, that's like the entire instruction booklet. It just assumes you can read Japanese, and if you can't, well, screw you. Good luck figuring it out based on the illustrations. I'm happy enough with how this turned out, but If you're having trouble with guessing your way through these things, also just be very careful you're not going to break anything as you build it. The only thing that I, for the life of me, could not figure out during this build was how to get the head to recess a little bit lower. It is supposed to go lower in the bike form, and I just couldn't figure out how to do that. A lot of these transformational pieces, like you saw, it wasn't too many steps in there, but not understanding, like, I was supposed to twist the arm around and then flip it backwards, or take certain pieces off and then put it back on again, because it's in Japanese, the instructions really screw this over, and I am getting flashbacks of trying to transform my Metal Gear Sahelanthropus into his Rex mode, and that was a huge problem with this same company making lousy instructions that are only in one language. But hey, I'm happy enough to have this finished and this video ready to go. So thank you all so much for joining me. Tell me what you think of Xenoblade Chronicles X. Maybe give me some encouragement to keep on playing it. I would like to enjoy it. I'm just, kind of at a point where I'm feeling kind of stuck. Isn't that supposed to be bent right there? That sure looks like it was supposed to be bent. Yeah, you see that right there? That looks terrible, but I guess that's just what it's supposed to look like. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. Remember to like the videos and subscribe for more, and I will see you all in the next figure or model review video. Booyah!